All right, ladies and gentlemen, really this time, welcome back to the 2017 NASA Eastern States Championships presented by Toyo Tires. I'm Jeff Pitts. Next to me here is John Lindsay. We have our second major championship race of the weekend. It is Sunday race day. We've got Group B out right now. This is our ground pounder group. We've got the ST1-4 class. We've got Super Unlimited, American Iron Extreme, NP01 NASA prototypes, and GTS4. They're currently out there working their pace lap. We can see the cars as they head into turn 7 behind our Toyo Tires pace car.
As we mentioned, we will have 3 flying waves for this one. We had a little bit of our coverage started there, and then we found out that we were actually calling the wrong group. So,
oops.
Apologies for that. We'll try to make chicken salad out of, well, never mind. So we are right here. We're going to look at Super Unlimited, Super Touring 1, AIX, and Super Touring 2 will be your first wave. Then it'll be GTS4, our NASA prototypes, the NP01s, and Super Touring 4 in the next wave. And then we will have a third wave flying start, and that will be American Iron in that third wave flying start. So they have been doing standing starts, but I guess they've elected to do a flyer for their big championship contest. Again, we're following a lot of the different battles that have been happening. Of course, AI has been very exciting. We've had Patterson, Byerly, Waymeyer, Hartman, and Dennis Ramsey up there. They've all been trying to figure out what to do, who's going to take home the prize. Great racing between those guys. Of course, I think Jeff Lindstrom finished 5th yesterday. He's one of the ones that was instrumental in starting Florida American Iron. So down here in the Florida region was one of the OGs along with Pat Waymeyer. Pat, longtime local racer. Michael Patterson, all the way from Texas in that evil black Camaro. He's been racing since 1999. So they've got a lot of time together. That's going to be a great race to follow. So we are going to have a lot of different cars here. Of course, Brian Putt in that Super Unlimited. He's rolling around in a Elan DP02. Of course, DP stands for Daytona Prototype.
I think he's going to break 2 minutes today, John.
Yeah, I mean, we were seeing at best about 2 minutes and 4 seconds out of him, but Charles Wicht was right there in that Ligier. So he was, of course, a Ligier is a Ligier LMP3, so that's a Daytona prototype and then a Le Mans prototype of 2 different classes, but they are in Super Unlimited, which is our real kind of catch-all, run what you brung and make sure whatever you're running is awfully fast. So we are waiting for our first wave flying start to come around. All 3 flying starts this time. Sometimes American Iron does give us a nice drag race treat. But I think it's probably wise to do a flyer this time around so you don't break any equipment. Those can be a little hard on the old drivetrain. Pace car in turn 17 right now, just at the entrance. You should see them on your screen in just a moment, coming around with our first wave flying start. Again, this one's scheduled for 45 minutes, as our championship races are. So here they come down the front straight, turn 17, coming at you. Right there on the front straight camera right now, we can hear the camshafts spooling up, and they are gone.
Green flag, green flag.
Now, you know, I hate to say it, but I think I saw Putt was a little bit out in front of the rest of the row. The pace sitter, or the pole sitter, is supposed to set a pretty consistent pace, and he looked like he was a little bit out in front, but I don't think anyone's going to get on him for a jump start because that car is just so wicked quick.
You know, I did, going by the sound as they came by the starter stand, it did seem like they were on it a little bit before the green there, but it looks like we were letting them go. Our second wave.
Second wave, starters holding them very late. And second wave is away. Let's watch them come down the front straight into that turn 1 camera. Great start there.
4-5 wide, it looks like.
4-5 wide. Wow, they're getting jiggy with it. Down the inside, we have that 1 white BMW there. I think that may have been...
That is Camus, I believe.
No, Camus in a different class, I believe. I think he was GTS3, so that has to be his teammate. I think that may have been Robert Cohen. I'm not sure. All right, American Iron's away. Byerly and Patterson with a drag race with Waymeyer down the inside. Watch on the front straight cam. There's that black Camaro with the white Mustang alongside. Another white Mustang glued to the back of that Camaro. Wow, they are all right together. Watch turn 1. The Camaro has the inside line. That's Patterson pulling in front of Byerly. Waymeyer looking for a tow behind Patterson. Awesome start from American Iron. Way to go, guys. I believe that white BMW, that was Robert Cohen. So he had a neat start down the inside, tried that inside line. That's always a little scary because the concrete really does not have much give to it.
Looking into turn 7, you can see Patterson still out in front of the AI class,
Waymar
but there's some
back.
major duking going on
Yeah, Waymar.
in the back of that pack.
Something happened to Pat Waymar. You could see him as they went through turn 7. He was way far back from where we expected him to be.
Let's look as they go into turn 10. It looks like he may have dropped back a considerable number of positions there.
Leader across the line right now, setting our second lap into motion. Through our turn 10 camera, looked like Waymar was trying to fight his way back to the front. Great race there happening in American Iron. Actually, that was a mistake. Rob Cohen is in the Porsche there. So we'll have to figure out who that brave driver, white BMW was. Coming down the inside, that was a great move. Of course, it can work out, or you can get a face full of concrete.
We just had a car smoking heavily through turn 17 there, John. I kind of hope that he leaves the track and heads into the pit lane.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to see as they come down the front straightaway here. And here comes the American Iron class. Oh, maybe not. Not quite yet.
All right, there they are. Flying through, evil black Camaro out in front. Farley, AJ Hartman, Dennis Ramsey, Frank Perdomo, Patrick Waymar, Marcos Rodriguez, Dustin Cornell, Billy Griffin, Jeff Lindstrom. That's your American Iron field, of course, on Race Hero. It is showing Wes Deering, but he had a shunt in Friday's contest, so or Saturday's contest, so he won't be around for the big finish there.
Waymar doing a great job catching back up already. It looked to me, just from a physical standpoint, that he was down to second to last or so after that little shakeup there in turn 7 last time around, but he's doing a great job fighting his way back up the field. Looks like he's in a gap now.
So watch turn 7, kids. Here they come. American Iron is going to come down there. There's the Camaro in front, Mike Patterson, then Byerly, then Hartman. Then that is Dennis Ramsey. Perdomo. Waymar came around Perdomo on the outside, so something happened to Pat Waymar, and he is fighting his way back. Nice pass on Frank Perdomo around the outside of turn 7. Let's watch turn 10, watching for that American Iron battle coming through. Here comes the American Iron cars. Byerly all over Patterson. Then it's Hartman, then Ramsey. There's Waymar up into 5th right now. Frank Perdomo right behind him. I think that may be Dustin Cornell, not sure. So great racing happening all over the track. Super Touring starting to come through now at a great massive velocity. Franklin Frutrell out front, then Dmitry Goliakov, Marta Radisic, Brian Goldberg, Daniel Sanzera, and Terry Mathis. Those are your Super Touring cars.
Big gap in the Super Touring 1 class there, John. It looks like 3 seconds to second place, another 5 back to third, and 4th still has not. Oh, it says there in the pit lane, Brian Goldberg there. ST2, Scott Argo leads. Feroz Hagiki, he is in the ST2 Thunder Roadster out there in second place. Ken Mantovani in third place, and Casey Williams in 4th. Also, pretty big gap there, although Ken Montanavi is only a 10th of a second behind Feroz Hagigi in second place. Now, Feroz does have 9 seconds to make up to the Super Touring 2 leader. Looking farther down the list now, ST3, Kevin Harvey in the lead, followed by Mark Burt, Vernon McClure, Ted Ambrose Jr., and David Evans.
Boy, lots of things happening as American Iron came through. Looks like we had a little bit of an incident in turn 3, and we do have one car that did pull off. So American Iron now coming down into turn 7. Let's take a look at that. There's Patterson. They're beginning to come up, I believe, on some lap traffic. Patterson taking an inside line with Byerly just beside.
Well, they certainly are catching up to the next class in front of them there, John. And that is going to make it more difficult, although they could use that to their advantage as they make their way through setting picks and things like that. ST4 class right now, David Davison leading the way, followed by Stephen Pierce, Patrick Kroll, Rob Oxford, and, hey, Todd Burris out there running his Spec Miata in ST4. Super Unlimited being led by Brian Putt, running those super fast 2:04 second laps out there, although I heard a rumor on Friday that he had been seen running a 1:58 out here, so we'll see if he can turn up the wick on that Super Unlimited car. Charles Wicht in second place, Stephen Dawes in third, Howard Jacobs fourth, and it looks like we're actually missing the last 3 in our Super Unlimited class: Curtis Baldwin, Frank Hindman, and Michael Hartley.
Woo, lots of things happening on track. I have been monitoring the control frequency. We did have 2 cars into the soup in turn 5 there. So we are waiting for that to clear. But this is the big championship race, so of course these drivers are going to be going for it. All right, so about 8 minutes down of our scheduled 45-minute contest. Byerly out in front of Patterson last time by in American Iron.
And only by 1/10 of a second there, John. They are still... Oh, and look, Patterson back into the lead as they come by the starting line this last time.
Look at the turn 1 camera, folks. They're going through there. Right
they
now,
come.
You've got Patterson, then Byerly. Then I think that's Dennis Ramsey, Pat Waymeyer. They're getting into lap traffic. So Waymeyer had something go wrong there, and now he's trying to fight back to the front of American Iron. We'll watch them on that turn 7 camera next. I can see them negotiating through 5. According to race control, the incident in 5 has been clear with both drivers out of those cars. So watching that turn 7 camera, you're going to see the evil black Camaro of Mike Patterson, then Bruce Byerly, then Dennis Ramsey, then Pat Waymeyer. Then I think that's A.J. Hartman, so they managed to get by A.J. there.
And you can see them catching up to a 944 as well as an NP01 prototype.
Wow.
So far, the out-of-class drivers have been very sportsmanlike, getting out of the way, letting the race come on through, but that still doesn't mean they can't use it to their advantage as they come by.
Let's watch turn 10 right now for American Iron and how they're going to deal with that lap traffic. Here we go, one of our NP01s, then there's that Camaro, Mike Patterson, then Bruce Byerly. Then there's Ramsey, then Pat Waymeyer with a Miata in between Waymeyer and A.J. Hartman. Of course, A.J. Hartman aero a lot of his own handiwork on that V6 turbo-powered Mustang. But he's hanging with the boys up here in the front.
Well, and as that's happening, John, we could see at the tail end of our turn 10 shot there that our Super Unlimited leaders are coming up on them. So it's definitely going to be an interesting thing to negotiate through all those big American Iron cars with those little prototypes.
So Brian Putt's fast lap time so far is a 2:04.919, which is consistent with what he's been running all weekend. Slicing through the field. Tough for both. Tough for the overtaking car and the overtaken. Of course, Putt trying to stay out in front of Charles Wicht, who has not been too far off of him all weekend. All right, well, we are about almost 11 minutes down of our 45-minute championship race for Group B. And as I thought, Randy Mueller is that very brave car. Randy is a multiple champion and a heck of a driver. So he was our white BMW that we saw in GTS4 that was really taking a brave move down the inside, and now he's way out in front of GTS4, so good job for Randy. Michael Camus, his teammate, will be running in GTS3. American Iron across the line right now.
It looks, where is Patterson? Patterson
Third.
down to third place. Byerly
Something
and
happened.
Ramsey out in front. We
Watch
saw them
turn
as
one.
they came through
Look
turn
at Byerly.
one.
Byerly's got quite a lead right now.
Here they go.
Oh boy. Yeah, something must have happened. We kind of missed it during the turn 1 shot, but let's look at turn 7 again. Yeah, something happened to Mike Patterson because now it is Byerly and Ramsey out front with the leader coming around the outside of him. Let's see, will they roll over? Boy, Ramsey tried to follow Brian Putt around Bruce Byerly. That's ballsy.
You know, I wonder how much draft is really
Ooh, and
created
Pat
by such a
Waymeyer is
small
all
car.
over the back of Mike Patterson now. Mike's going to have to do work if he's going to get that Camaro out in front of all of those Fords. As he said it to me, it's one Camaro and 11 Fords that he's got to deal with. NP01's, there's overall leader. Bruce Byerly coming at you in the turn 10 camera. Dennis Ramsey just behind. Then there's Patterson with Waymeyer challenging around the outside. A.J. Hartman right behind.
Well,
Wow.
you know Patterson is definitely not going to lay down. He is not going to settle for third place.
All right, folks, so we will try to pick up some of these other races there. GTS4 across the line, of course. Randy Mueller now 9 seconds out in front of the GTS4 field. Then Ferriol and Horton are right together. Looks like next up will probably be Paul Davison coming across about 13 seconds behind Horton. Right now, Randy Mueller coming into turn 7. That's our GTS4 leader.
Well, and Brian Putt and Charles Wick have now successfully lapped the entire field as they are working their 6th lap, and the other fastest drivers out there are on their 5th. Just incredible speed from those prototype cars.
All right, we are hearing about an impact at turn 16 that may affect the action coming around turn 17. All right, Super Touring 1 across the line just now. Futrell and Goliakoff fairly close together. Overall leader Brian Putt flying by right now. Super Touring 4, David Davison out in front, but Stephen Pierce right with him. So Davison and Pierce are right together, 0.032 seconds between those two in ST4. Patrick Kroll is only 3 seconds behind them with Rob Oxford in the 4th position. Looks like Todd Burris may be out. He is showing as red on our RaceHero.io display.
That ST4 battle between Davison and Pierce is really one of the closest ones going on track right now. 0.03 of a second between them.
All right, folks, we are hearing that we may red flag. Unfortunately, we do have an incident that's going to require all of our racers to come to a stop. So we are going to see a red flag stoppage, and we will get back to you when we know a little bit more of that. So we do have a red flag incident. That means all racers must come to a stop safely on course. So we do have an incident that we have to deal with here on track. We'll let you know more when we hear. All right, folks, we are in a red flag delay, and I did want to let you all know that the driver is out safe of that car that did have the thermal incident, as we call it, but everybody's safe and okay. We're just going to have to get that fire out with that car. So we are in a red flag delay. That means everybody stop. Of course, red flags are real challenging because you're hot and steamy in the car, and the car is pretty hot, and then you come to an immediate stop. So the car may overheat. We may see some issues there. Also, it can crack the snot out of your brake rotors, things like that, because it's a very quick stop. Of course, red flag is the most serious flag you can see on a race course. It means everybody stop. We got to go deal with something. So we will tell you more information when we have it. But the good news is that the driver is okay. But we are sending everything we have at this fire right now on turn 16. So not sure what's going to happen with that one, but we are going to try and resume this race. Looks like now we are about 17 minutes in, so quite a lot of time left. Hopefully we're able to throw all of our resources at that incident, get the car extinguished, all that good stuff, and resume. If not, we're just going to have to call it like it is right now. So we will get back to you and let you know what's going on. We're going to leave our luxury booth here and go take a gander at what's happening. And we'll be back at you real soon once we know what's going to occur. Again, this is our Group B championship race. We'll be right back from the NASA 2017 Eastern States Championships presented by Toyo Tires. All right, folks, welcome back. We are back after our red flag delay. Again, we wanted to let you know that driver is out safe. No problems there. Now look at turn 10. It looks like that may be our overall leader, Brian Putt, and he's not able to get started again, which could be a challenge. Some of those cars don't have starters. Some of them, maybe the batteries are teeny because it is a prototype and it's not happy with sitting for that long in the heat. So we are back to full course yellow. That'll allow the cars a chance to circulate, maybe cool off a little bit. But looks like turn 10, I think that is Putt, and he is not moving. Believe so. Looks like it's a blue prototype, which is what he looks like there. So that may be an issue coming forward, but we will figure this one out. We're going to extend the race a little bit and see if we can get these racers some more green flag time. But now they are circulating under a double yellow, and we will try for a restart as quick as we can. Did want to let you know that was Billy Griffin in that Mustang. He is just fine, no problems. He had kind of lost it a little bit on the exit of 16, then into the wall, and the gas tank ruptured. But the crews were on it right away, and Billy was heads up, got out, so he's just fine, no problems. But he's going to need to do a little bit of paint and body work and a little bit more work to that Mustang of his in the off season. But the most important thing is he's just fine.
That's right, John. Cars come and go, but our human bodies do not. We want to make sure all our drivers stay safe out there.
Field coming across the line right now under control of that pace car. You can look at the front straight camera, and there is your pace car coming around. Looks like in the turn 10 camera we do still have a disabled car there, so we're going to have to clear that before we can get back to green flag racing. We're currently at 12:16 Eastern. That would mean we would have 4 minutes left in this session if we were sticking to the clock and we hadn't had that red flag incident. Actually, it looks like Michael Patterson may have pitted, so something may have overheated in that Camaro. Not sure what happened to Mike Patterson there. We'll have to keep an eye on that. We're watching the AI field coming through right now. Well, let's watch in turn 7, make sure everybody's with. It looks like Robert Shaw may have also fallen off, and Randy Mueller. That's a big development in GTS4 if Mueller's no longer running.
That's right. Randy had been leading the race up until that point.
Putting on a clinic.
Yeah, leading is an understatement. He was leading by quite a bit.
So we are hearing from control and our race directors that we will try for about 15 minutes of green flag racing. So we do have some cars going by at a pretty quick pace. Of course, they are trying to catch up to the field. They were spread out all over the course because a red flag does mean stop right away. Everybody come to a stop because we are worried about what's happening out on the track. And Sebring and their safety crews, which are absolutely top-notch, threw everything they had at that fire. Seeing how high the flames were and how it was engulfed, that is amazing that they were able to get that out and cleared so quickly. So big congratulations to that safety crew here at the track. Very, very well done. Looks like there is a rescue vehicle out there now at turn 10, going to clear that car away. We are seeing in Super Unlimited, that may be Howard Jacobs because he has fallen off, and we are seeing a red bar on our racehero.io feed, which usually tells us if something like that has happened. So we're going to do our best to clear that one car out of turn 10. Once that goes, we're going to do our best to get you back to about 15 minutes of green flag racing for our ground pounders. Group B. So we're going to do our best to clear that one car, and then hopefully green. Perhaps what's going to happen is there's a lot of real estate between turn 10 and turn 17. So if the pace car keeps them at a nice mellow pace, they'll be able to pull that one car off. And then we'll be able to get back to green flag racing.
I certainly hope so, John. And if that is Brian Putt, I mean, hopefully he doesn't have a mechanical issue. I'd like to see him get the car restarted.
Yeah,
Not sure exactly how that's going to take place, though.
It is still picking up Brian Putt on this lap, so it's not Brian Putt. I believe it is Howard Jacobs there. A little bit hard for us to see numbers. We'll try our best as they come around in turn 10. It's a similar blue prototype looking sort of car. So we'll see who that is. Yeah, that is the 777. I believe it is Howard Jacobs. So Howard probably had a problem with getting that car restarted. Again, the prototypes are configured for minimum weight and maximum performance, so probably not a huge battery in there and a hot engine. Often can take a little more juice to kick over. So that's why you need the big diesel 1200 cold cranking amp mama to get it going again. So that's the brakes with a red flag. Sometimes your vehicle will not restart or overheats a little bit. So that's not the ending that Howard Jacobs wanted, but we are going to probably try, yeah, we're going to go green this time. Bye, kids.
Interestingly, John, unlike with the double yellow, with a red flag, it doesn't really change your fuel strategy that much because you're sitting there presumably with the car turned off.
Right.
You're not burning any fuel. You're not losing any weight there.
But the problem is that you don't know how it's going to affect the car with overheating or whatever else, so you're just praying that everything comes back. Green, green, green. We are back to green flag racing. Expecting about 15 minutes of green flag racing. Putt is off and running. Rest of the field now clearing through 17. Of course, when the green goes, even if you're in the middle of 17, it's go time. All right, folks, watch that turn 1 camera. Field is slowly streaming through there. There's your AI and some of your super touring cars all right together. Of course, everybody's now gathered up into one big happy family.
Right, there's definitely some extra excitement when we do a restart like this, having all the classes bunched up together like that. Of course, the gaps are gone and the multi-wave start is gone, so these drivers have to be extra courteous to each other, especially out of class, so that they don't interfere with each other's racing.
Yeah, and I was mistaken on that call. Randy Mueller is still out in front of GTS4. We're just following along with Race Hero. So he's back out at the front, but that huge gap he had over Ferriol is now gone. It's just 0.849 seconds between those two. So Randy Mueller's going to try to use traffic to his advantage to get some real estate in between himself and Ferriol. Rocket Horton right there as well. So it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of different lap times in there. And they're all going to be battling together, but they don't want to mess up someone else's battle for position. But when you got to get by, you got to get by.
That's right, and some of the, of course, all of the gaps have been reduced to zero, but the some of the gaps in class are actually still quite large just because of who was situated where when they came to a stop on that red flag situation. So, like, for instance, looking into ST2, Kevin Montanavi is still 18 seconds behind Casey Williams in second place there. Scott Argo still leading the way in ST2.
All right, we're going to wait for our leader to come around turn 17. We can hear cars passing behind us on the back straightaway. So we are looking for that. Looks like there is a development in American Iron. I think Michael Patterson is off now. Leader across the line right now.
Well, that would sure be a shame, John. Mike Patterson has been doing such a great job with battling these guys.
Yep.
He had moved down all the way to, oh boy, what was it about?
He was out front for a bit.
And then back up towards the front.
No, he was all the way out front, and then something must have happened during that red flag that just cooked the evil black Camaro's omelet. So that was a bummer that Mike Patterson appears to be out in our race. Here we go, Super Touring 1 coming across the line. Goliakoff out in front of Futrell. Marco Radicic up next. Looks like Brian Goldberg may be in the pits right now, so those are your top 3 in Super Touring 1. You can hear a whole lot of horsepower coming by the line right now. Looks like Byerly's still out in front of American Iron.
Waymeyer moved up into into second from third place, passing Dennis Ramsey.
Yep. All right, let's watch turn 7. We can see some of those battles that are happening right now. We want to look for the American Iron cars as well as those Super Touring cars. It looks like there's a not much of a gap between Goliakoff and Futrell either. So we're showing a waving yellow there.
Looks
in
like
turn 7.
So probably an incident in turn 8 there, John.
Yeah, right on that. We are looking for the call there. It looks like that may be car 0. Hard to say. I'm looking for the number here on my display. It may be one of our Super Touring 4 cars may have had a little bit of an issue there. I think that's Patrick Kroll. There may be a little bit of an issue with his car. He's smoking. So that may be what we're looking at. Of course, in turn 7, we may have had a little bit of a spin there. leader across the line right now. Boy, but Charles Wicht is still very much in contact with Brian Putt. So Putt's last time by was a 2:05.796. His fastest so far was a 2:04.919. But guess what? Wicht was actually faster that lap. Charles Wicht with a 2:05.476 to Putt's 2:05.796. So they're going to hit traffic here, and that's going to be an interesting little bit of a battle there because Wicht is coming after Putt now.
Well, he certainly has the pace to do so, John, and I think Charles Wicht has surprised us a little more than once out here this weekend. We can see him going into turn 7 there. There's Brian Putt first, and there's Charles Wicht. Not really in striking distance just yet, but he does have the pace.
Let's take a look at turn 1 right now. That's going to be your American Iron Field coming through. There's Bruce Byerly is right behind that Ferrari. Then we've got Pat Waymeyer. There's Dennis Ramsey, and there's A.J. Hartman right there. Pat Waymeyer using all of the track. I think that's our leader in GTS4, Randy Mueller, starting to work his way into that American Iron Field. Mueller is just flying. Randy's at a 2:17 is his best time, so he is really moving and leading the way in GTS4. All right, we did restart, and we are going to look for 15 minutes of green flag racing in this race. All right, we are seeing our field working through all of the turns here. Let's take a look at turn 10. We'll see Byerly coming around. Then a whole bunch of cars, all of them together. I think that may be our overall leader right now, smoking by, maybe not. There's Mueller right there at the back of those AI cars. He's running about equivalent times to the American Iron cars right now, so he may hang back a little bit. He's got 4 seconds over Robert Ferriol, and Rocket Horton is 3.5 seconds back from Ferriol, and then Robert Cohen in that Porsche. Robert's 6 seconds back from Rocket Horton.
Well, and in AI, Bruce Byerly really is doing a great job pulling away from the pack now that Patterson is no longer a part of the equation. 2.2 seconds this last time by, but that gap does seem to be increasing. Waymeyer and Ramsey pretty close together. Only about a half second splitting the two. And of course, Hartman part of that pack as well.
Boy, ST1 just across the line right now. Let's look at turn 1 real quick. Turn 1, you're going to see 2 of those cars come through. That's that Corvette right there. I believe that's Goliathkov, and Futrell is right there as well. So that's a great battle in Super Touring 1 right now. Goliathkov and Futrell, both of them right together. Looks like we just had a car retire. Try to get you a number on that car. Oh man, that was Franklin Futrell that just retired.
Oh no.
Yep, I'm hearing that something happened to him and he just went back paddock, so that's a bummer. He was doing very well in Super Touring 1. So yeah, Goliathkov was that Corvette. I think that was Futrell retiring in ST1.
And we've had a lead change here in ST4, John. It looks like Stephen Pierce has taken over the lead from David Davison.
Right on.
Back into qualifying order they go there. Davison only 0.3 of a second behind, though, so that pass did happen right near the start-finish line. But still a tight gap between those two. We could see some more good racing in ST4.
Indeed, indeed. We are back to racing now after that red flag incident, so that's a nice recovery for all of these drivers. Unfortunately, it did knock out a few folks because of overheating or some other issue that happened. We are showing a standing yellow right now in turn 7. Of course, that means no passing. So that can be a little bit difficult if you're coming up on lap traffic or some other good racing action is happening, but you can't do anything about it. Sounds like we have another car that has pulled off after turn 7 there. Might be 101. Not sure. That might have been Vernon McClure, but we'll have to see if he's still up there in the order. We are hearing that number 01, Kevin Harvey in Super Touring 3 is blowing a little bit of smoke, so we'll keep an eye on him as well. All right, folks, right through there, I believe right now we're going to be looking for our overall leaders coming through pretty quick here.
We just saw the AI class go through turn 17. We look down the front straight now. We can see Mueller leading the ST4 class.
Yep, and he's
sorry.
Yep,
ST1.
right there. No, he's GTS4. Randy Mueller's GTS4.
GTS4.
We got.
I knew it had a 4 in it.
We have a lot of classes to deal with. We're trying our best, but we get a little bit confused here. We are trying to call about 5 or 6 or 7 classes worth of racing, but we're trying to keep it straight for you. It has been exciting. A little bit of everything in this race. A little bit of impacts here, impacts there, and starts were pretty good. And we've had cars have mechanical failures and that big fire, but man, we are keeping going. We are endeavoring to persevere.
We are, John, and it looks like 30 minutes elapsed now in the session. I'm imagining we're going to have probably 5 minutes left of green flag racing here, or thereabouts. Looking down to the starter, don't quite see that white flag being pulled out just yet. Oh, maybe a reach for the white flag here. We'll have to see when our leaders come around.
Okay, we are starting to think about white flag time, but again, what an amazing response by the Sebring in-house safety crew there to take a car fire, put it out, extract the car, fix everything up, and get it running again. That was amazing. I've actually never seen anything like that. I've never seen anything that fast, that big of a recovery from such a major incident. So that's pretty amazing. All right, well, we're going to be looking for, they are calling the leader around the corners on the control frequency, which is usually a pretty sure bet. We're going to see a white flag this time by. The starter does have that in his steely grip. So we are calling the leader around. All right, leader on the front straight right now, I believe. Or maybe he's in 13, not sure. No, I think he's in 13. A lot of traffic on the radio. Guys, this is a busy race, so I'm trying to listen to the control frequency, and it is... Okay, he's in turn 14 right now. So we're hearing that Brian Putt is in turn 14, so he's going to get the white flag this time by. And that will end our championship contest. For Group B, Randy Mueller just across the line right now. He is flying. So we're waiting to see what the gap with Robert Ferriol is now. Okay, 9 seconds, or almost 10 seconds back to Robert Ferriol. Mueller putting on a great job in that white BMW of his. Of course, he has been a champion many times. Very fast driver, always exquisitely tuned and prepared cars. Nice to see him out in GTS4 doing some work in a very challenging race. White flag now this time by. Brian Putt is coming by, but I think the American Ironfield, he's going to work his way through there. But again, the checker will follow Putt around. So if Putt gets by a lot of these guys, and he's got to, because Charles Wicht is right there.
Yeah, only under 2 seconds away, Charles Wicht. He could make a move here in this final lap.
Let's watch turn 7. Watch turn 7. So here's what's going to happen in turn 7. You're going to see that smaller, kind of open cockpit prototype car come in, and then Wicht is in the more closed cockpit, the Ligier. He'll be right behind.
Oh boy, we do have a yellow flag in 7, which is going to make this interesting.
That means the Putt's going to have to check out. Wicht's right there. Look at that. Wicht is the second car. There goes Putt. There is Wicht.
We'll have to go through that zone without
until
passing.
they get there. Let's watch turn 10, kids. Watch 10 and see where Putt and Wicht are in our Super Unlimited race. The one we thought wouldn't be much drama is all of a sudden turning into drama.
And you can see a passing flag being given to that car.
Wicht is over Wicht.
Oh, and a spin from Wicht.
Wicht was in front. He was in front and Putt was behind him, and Wicht got turned around.
You know, it looked like some abrupt disruption of the line there. I'm wondering if maybe there was a little bit of contact, possibly.
Putt didn't get into the back of Charles Wicht, because that's going to be a meeting with the stewards.
Maybe a little bit of help.
Charles Wicht had gotten in front of him. My gosh. Dang.
What excitement. You know, another interesting tidbit here, John, I think is pretty cool, is that at a 2-minute lap, 14 laps elapsed for Brian Putt. They're basically getting full race distance here.
Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good. So, woo! Boy, this one definitely has been a corker of a race. Pretty cool. Looks like Byerly is coming through right now, getting the white flag, I believe, for the lead in AI.
I think you're right there, John. We're going to look to turn 17. Here comes our leader through turn 17. Looking at the front straight now. It's going to be a checkered flag. Here we go. Checkered flag, everybody.
There it is. Hey, but the race isn't over. Let's watch turn 1. Byerly, the race is still going for American Iron. Byerly's
right.
out in front of Ramsey. Waymeyer just behind, but he has one car in front of him. So Super Unlimited, that was a heck of a race. Let's follow around. I saw Randy Mueller zing by just before them, so he'll take GTS4 unless something really weird happens. Right now, that's Mueller, I believe, coming into turn 7. You have to work through those AI cars and get around.
And there is still a waving yellow there in turn 7.
Yeah.
So these cars who were running their very last lap are going to run into the same
So you
issue
see
that
waving yellow
Putt
with a
did.
white. And that means waving yellow, be careful, and white, there's an emergency vehicle out there. So there is Byerly, but Ramsey is right there behind him. No passing allowed here, so Ramsey's hoping that Byerly hits lap traffic. Waymeyer's right there too. I think it's going to be down to the knuckles for American Iron. Watch turn 10. There's Randy Mueller coming through. Now I see a waving passing flag, I believe there in 10. I can't really tell from my vantage point. Here comes Byerly. It looks like Ramsey's... No, they're coming up on another Mustang. Ramsey's just still behind, and Pat Waymeyer's right there, but A.J. Hartman was right on Waymeyer's tail.
Yeah, the American Iron battle is still alive
It's
and well
down
here,
now.
John.
No, it's no, I can't call it. I can't call it. It's too close. So we're going to have to watch for the stripe to see how American Iron comes out. I think all of our other races are gelling a little bit, but that one is still on the table, of course.
Well, we still do have our turn 17 camera to watch them come through, John, but I'm saying I think there are battles going on all over the American Iron field. There could be a shakeup right before the finish here.
Well,
this is going to be a very exciting race to the checkered flag.
You saw with Wicht and Putt, it was the last lap and the last couple of corners, and kablooey.
There, I think that was Mueller 17.
All right.
So no, there's Mueller.
Now we're going to watch for Byerly, with Ramsey right behind him, and then Waymeyer and Hartman. We're still getting it on. All right, so we're watching for that white Mustang, S197 chassis of Bruce Byerly. There he is. And there is Dennis Ramsey. There's Pat Waymeyer and A.J. Hartman just behind. They're coming to the line. We'll call it for you, folks. Byerly. Ramsey just behind. Oh, and Waymeyer just barely pipped A.J. Hartman to keep on the podium for American Iron. So, you know, I like an exciting race, but that might have been a little bit much.
That was a bit on the excessive side there, John. Well, look, we can start going over our field here now, starting with Super Unlimited. Of course, Brian Putt with the overall win. Charles Wicht in second place after a fantastic battle. Stephen Dawes and Howard Jacobs bringing up third and fourth place. In ST4, Stephen Pierce with the win, followed by David Davison, Patrick Kroll, and Rob Oxford. Todd Burris unfortunately left the race a little bit early. ST3, Mark Burt, Ted Ambrose Jr., Kevin Harvey in third place, Vernon McClure in fourth, and David Evans in fifth. In ST2, Scott Argo wins, followed by Ken Montanavi, Casey Williams, and Firuz Hagigi. In ST1, Dmitry Goliakov took the win and the championship for ST1. Marco Radicic in the second place position. Franklin Futrell in third. Brian Goldberg fourth. And Daniel Sanzera and Terry Mathis unfortunately not joining us for this race. NP01 prototype class was won by Tom Hahn, our Eastern States NP01 champion, followed by Charles Liniger. In GTS4, Randy Mueller is our winner, followed by Robert Ferriol, Rocket Horton, Robert Cohen, Paul Davidson rounding out your top five, followed by John Allen, Randall Bryant, King Shaw, and Bob Hanneman.
Of course, American Iron, Bruce Byerly taking home the win. That was pretty incredible. A great battle there. Dennis Ramsey in second position, completing the podium is Pat Waymeyer, then A.J. Hartman, Dustin Cornell, Jeff Lindstrom, Marcus Rodriguez, Frank Perdomo, Mike Patterson, Billy Griffin, American Iron Extreme, it was Robert Shaw. So what a race, kids. That was something out there on the track. We were busy. I had the control radio blowing up in one ear and all the stuff happening on the video monitor, so that was just about everything you can have in a race. We didn't have any tornadoes or hurricanes like we've had at past races or any lightning, but other than that, it was an exciting one. So next race will go off at 1:40 p.m. Eastern Time. We are hearing that is the modified time, back from 1:20 to 1:40. So we'll be back at you just shortly before that comes up. That's going to be our Group C race. Group C will be very exciting, very equally prepared cars in 944 spec and Spec E30. So thanks for joining us here at the 2017 NASA Eastern States Championships presented by Toyo Tires. We'll be back at you just before 1:40 p.m. Eastern.
Guys, we're here with Brian Putt, winner of the Super Unlimited race and overall winner of the Group B NASA Championships race here at the 2017 NASA Championships presented by Toyo Tires. Brian, that looked like it was a hard-fought battle right to the end.
It was.
Flat pass from Charles, and I mean, you tried to stick it down the inside there, and it looked like there was a little contact.
Little contact there. My right mirror blew out halfway through the race, so I couldn't see anything on the right side of the car behind me. And I knew he was closing. He had speed at the end after the red flag, so I was just trying to keep my line and drive my drive. And then there was that contact, which, you never want to have that happen. But, I had the corner and I was going into it. And other than that, it was a great race with him. He's a great guy and, a lot of fun, but it feels great to get it done. First national championship, I'll happily take it.
Wow.
Proud as can be.
Well, you guys put on a dominant performance all weekend. Fast every session, consistent. You have anybody at home you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my wife Sally, my son Andrew, and my daughter Heather, and her new husband Brian. Those guys support me and let me come out and do this, and I did it because I was thinking about them. I'm ready to come home, babe.
Well, you've won the fastest class racing here at Sebring for the NASA Championships. What's going to be next in 2018? You're gonna join us at COTA?
I think you just might see me down at COTA for sure.
Well, congratulations on your
Thanks,
first
Jeremy.
championship.
Appreciate it.
What a great drive.
Thank you.
Again, we'll look forward to seeing you next year.
Awesome. Thanks. Thanks,
right.
everybody.
With Bruce Byerly, winner of your American Iron Eastern States Championships here at the 2017 NASA Eastern States Championships presented by Toyo Tires. Bruce, that looked like a heck of a race. Walk us through it.
It was a lot of fun, clean racing. I mean, I've been doing this for a dozen years, and I can't remember a better race. It was other than the red flag time. It was wheel to wheel. It was clean, and we had a good time. And I just, I'm super stoked. I can't tell you. I've been at this for so long. It's so fun to be up there, even close to the top spot. So hopefully everything goes well at Tech, and everybody's clean.
You won the race today. Now you got to win the race through Tech, right?
Well, obviously we're we do everything we can to make them compliant, but we're just looking forward to getting through it and celebrating with the family. So Toyo Tires were awesome, and the Mustangs did well today. Sorry for Mike Patterson. He was running real well. I mean, frankly, these cars are faster than my car, both Mike and Dennis, probably AJ too, but it's racing and traffic and all this stuff. I just got lucky, and thankfully.
Well, that's right. Speaking of traffic, did you have any worries, concerns when you saw that red flag come out about maybe being caught up, having to work through traffic, maybe getting caught by some lap traffic outside where you wanted to be?
It's funny because when you're up front and the red flag comes out, you're really it's like the worst thing. But when you're back, I know how it feels. Usually I'm behind, and when a flat yellow comes out, you're happy because you can close the gap. So it goes both ways. It's racing. We just do the best we can with it. I was really worried about Marcos or who went. I'm not even sure what happened in the incident. So we're on the radio, and half of our crew was unavailable. So that was a little nerve-wracking sitting there not knowing what's going on. But I think everybody's okay, right?
I'll be happy to tell you, it looked like one of the Mustangs smacked the wall in 17. The car caught fire, which was the cause for the red flag. But driver got out okay. Everything looks like it's
well, that's good to hear. Yeah, super day. Another great day at Sebring.
Yep. So, well, congratulations again.
Thanks, Jeremy.
On an epic finish to the weekend. Winner yesterday, winner overall today, and I don't think it gets better for you.
I can tell you, this is what keeps you racing. So here we go. Another dozen years, maybe we'll do another one.
something tells me we may see you next year in the biggest AI field we've ever had at COTA.
I think that's going to happen. I mean, it's such a great formula. You know, the cars. I mean, from a 30-year-old Fox body, a low-budget car. I mean, you can do AI racing on a budget. You can have fun. It's a great crew. I mean, as far as the paddock goes, that everybody sticks together, everybody gets along. So I highly recommend AI. I mean, it's a little intimidating, but the V8 cars they're easy and they're fun to deal with, and it's a great crowd. So come out and race AI with us.
Well, congratulations again on a well-deserved win today. Hey folks, we're here with Dmitry Golikov, I think. Did I get that right?
Yep, that's right.
Winner of your Super Touring 1 category here at the 2017 NASA Eastern States Championships presented by Toyo Tires. Dmitry, it looked like you were in a heck of a battle chasing down Franklin for a while, and then something happened and you got the golden goose, so to speak, but it's nothing to take away from your race, right? Tell us about it. Walk us through it.
You know, Brian in the Ford 20, the Panos car, was super fast. I mean, he took off on at the start, and then I think lap or two he cut a tire, so I got him, and then then there was this the little Elan in front of us, and it was tough getting him because he's a lot lighter and probably was as quick. But then when we cased the traffic, he got stuck sort of. That helped me out quite a lot. I was able to pass him in off turn 5, and then it was just no mistakes afterwards. Then he slowed down, and then after that it was just walk in the park.
So after you saw that red flag come out, were you concerned you wouldn't have enough time to get that win done?
I was concerned, yeah, because usually sometimes after the car sits a lot, it's hard to start. Sometimes it stalls, and I know if it stalls, then the starters are so hot, it might not be able to start. So I was really cautious to start it over. And we were sitting in Bishop curves, pretty much like in ovens. It was so hot. I radioed the crew. I said, cold martini would be awesome right now, and they said, yeah, maybe after the race,
Some good vodka.
Yeah, no vodka, no vodka. I don't drink vodka.
Wow, well, this Super Touring category is pretty unique. Such a wide array of cars. I mean, you're out there in what's this Corvette weigh?
Like 3,100 pounds.
3,100 pound Corvette, and you're racing against cars weighing 14, 15, 1,700 pounds.
Power,
yeah.
I guess, gets it. I mean, getting off the corner. You know what? These Hoosiers, this is only the second weekend that I'm racing them, and they are awesome. I mean, from my previous experience over here, like in the Winterfest or something, with these Hoosiers, I'm like 2 or 3 seconds faster.
Wow, that's pretty tremendous.
Yeah.
So, what do you think's in store for your plans in 2018?
Well, definitely going to COTA.
Definitely going to COTA.
Yep.
I think we're going to see some record fields there, and we hope to see you part of it. Congratulations again on your first NASA championship, and we look forward to seeing you in 2018.
Let me say hello to my family, to my wife, to my kids. Performance Tech is a great team. This is the way to go. Thanks them. Thanks everybody.